Hello, good morning everyone, and welcome back to our YouTube channel. And my name is Amirul Hakimi.
And I'm Fatin Shakira. And today, we are diving into a topic that is absolutely essential for any organization: training and development. Hakimi, do you know what is TND?
Yes, of course. In a simple term, training and development focus on improving on employees' knowledge, skill, and abilities, enhance their performance. Training prepare employees for their current job by ensuring they can carry out their tasks efficiently and confidently.
Exactly. Development prepares employees for future roles, including leadership and handling more complex tasks. Research by Aziz from 2019 also shows that this structured approach increases motivation and also commitment.
It's a continued process. Let's start with the training need assessment. This is where HR identifies skill gaps using method like performance appraisal. Then, they design the program, implement it, and finally, evaluate its effectiveness.
This is very important because poor TND can be very costly. When development is ignored, employee productivity can drop significantly. According to HRM, organizations may experience up to a 24% decrease in productivity due to weak training and also development practices.
So, Shakira, this also leads to high employee turnover. And it is a serious issue since Liquid Learning 2022 report found that 94% of employees will stay longer if their employee invested in their career development.
And not just that, Hakimi, replacing employees also without proper training can cost an organization up to 200% of the employee's annual salary, especially for senior positions. This shows why TND are very important for maintaining competitiveness and avoiding weak innovation.
To help us understand with this process better, we recently had the chance to sit down with some amazing HR experts.
Without further ado, let's dive into the interviews.
Our first interviewer was with Miss Alida, an HR professional with years of experience. She explained why training and development is so crucial and what impact it has on the business.
Alright, thank you for inviting me to this talk show. Hi everyone, I'm excited to be here today to share some key insight on the impact of training and development, or I call it as TND, in the workplace. First, training and development significantly improve employee productivity. According to the Rohan and Mudivita 2012, productivity reflects how efficiently work is done, such as output per employee. When employees receive a proper training, they gain a deeper understanding of how to use tool, system, and procedure better. This leads to a faster and more accurate work. For instance, a worker trained on a new machine so they can operate it correctly and produce more units per hour. When more employees are trained, the entire organization becomes more stronger and more capable of handling larger workload and more complex tasks. Next, training also increases a company's profitability. Well-trained employees produce a higher quality work, which reduces error and operational costs. For example, a customer service or a marketing team that is trained can solve issues quickly, which increase customer satisfaction and even boost a sale. This shows that when customers are happy, they return, and this loyalty help the company recover training costs while increasing revenue. Research shows that training aligns with strategic goals, which significantly enhances financial outcome. Higher productivity and increased sales naturally strengthen the company profit margin. Now, let's move on. TND also enhances employee satisfaction. It shows that the organization values their career growth. Birch 2011 explained that job satisfaction raises when expectations match the actual work experience. It also reduces job stress by providing a clarity and confidence in performing tasks. Job satisfaction is the level of contentment or positive feelings employees have towards their job, work environment, and overall experience. As seen in the study by Kumar and Rani 2020, relevant training boosts job satisfaction and even reduces absenteeism. When employees feel supported, they become more motivated, engaged, and committed to performing their job well. Finally, training and development drive a company long-term growth. Growth in this context refers how a company increases its size, capacity, and presence in the market over time. Training gives employees a later skill in the technology, problem solving, and industry knowledge. This helps companies expand into a new market and encourages innovation. When employees are exposed to a modern technique and new technologies, they are more likely to develop a new ideas, products, and services. This innovative mindset is essential for staying competitive. A skilled and adaptable workforce also make it easier for the company to expand to a skilled operation. Alright, to sum up, training and development empower employees, strengthen performance, and open the door to a new opportunities for the company. When companies invest in their people, they gain a more skilled, motivated, and productive workforce that drive a long-term success. That's all from me. Thank you.
Next up, we spoke with Ms. Arisa, who shared some excellent real-world examples of T&D programs and the methods they use.
Alright, thank you for inviting me to this talk show. So, before I jump into the real-world example of T&D, let me start with something simple. In organization, there are actually many types of training. Some of common include on-the-job training, off-the-job training. The third one is the computer-based training. And the last one, the experiential learning program. Let me explain each one in a simple way. For on-the-job training, this is the training while working. You learn by doing real tasks like watching your seniors, practicing hands-on, and receiving feedback. It's happened directly at the workplace. And number 2 is off-the-job training. This training happens away from your daily job. It can be in classroom, workshop, lecture, or simulation. It's more formal learning environments. Number 3 is computer training. This is use technology. Employees learn through online module, e-learning platform, digital simulation, video quizzes. In a simple word, everything done using a computer. And the last one is experiential program. This type focuses on the learning through experience. It can include outdoor activity, team building games, role play, case study, problem solving challenges. Basically, learning by actively doing. So now that we understand the different type of training, let's look at how two big Malaysia company, which is Telekom Malaysia and Proton, use this method in very different ways. Now, let's start with Telekom Malaysia first. TM use of-the-job trainings, meaning employees step away from their usual tasks to focus entirely on learning. Their main program is the Value Leadership Program or VLP, in collaboration with MMU University. The VLP focuses on the building the right mindset, behavior, and leadership quality. It's based on competency framework, which is the TM success and digital culture enabler model. And the program is huge. It has 57 high-impact modules covering leadership, communication, teamwork, digital culture, and more. For selected participants, TM even offer micro-credential MBA module inside the VLP. There are 4 MBA subjects delivered through 13 short modules. If they complete all 13, they can get up to 35% credit transfer to a full MBA at MMU. So employee gain leadership skill and academic credit, and at the same time, a very powerful combinations. Another example is Proton, where learning happens in the real work environment. Proton focus heavily on the job training through the Proton Young Talent Program. Here's employees learn by doing demonstration, job shadowing, real tasks, hands-on practice, and direct feedback. In the program, each young talent rotates through 4 major divisions in 1 year. This can include manufacturing, engineering, commercial operation, or corporate function. And during each attachment, they work on real business project, not just exercise. This project actually contribute to Proton operation. Every participant gets a project coach who guides them, teach them, and support their growth. And results are amazing. For example, an accounting graduate ended up working in Proton Group Communication Department with writing, release, and handle media. A computer science graduate joined the electrification division working on EV project. One participant even spent 6 months in China with Geely and Proton R&D, learning advanced automotive and EV technologies. So, when we compare both companies, we can see that 2 very different approaches, but both have the same goal, which is to build strong, skilled, and future-ready employees.
Then, we spoke with Ms. Azwaliza about the challenges HR face when managing T&D programs. It's not always smooth, right?
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to explain the challenge in training and development in this talk show. So today I will be discussing the challenge in training and developments. The first challenge, high demand for knowledge workers in a knowledge-based economy. In a knowledge-based economy, business rely heavily on information, technology, and innovation instead of manual labor. Because of this, companies need a knowledge workers, people who use their expertise to think, analyze, solve problems, and make decisions. For language competence, especially English hampers, example, technician at a hotel maintenance department needs to repair a newly purchased air conditioning systems. However, the instruction manual and troubleshooting guide are entirely in English. Because the technician has limited English proficiency, they misread the systems, causing delays and needing help from a colleague who is more fluent. Okay, we move to the second challenge in training and development. TND is reactive rather than strategic. Training and development is usually introduced when there is already a problems like low performance, customer problems, skill or gaps. Organizations do not plan training in advance for future needs. Example, company plans to switch to a new digital HR systems next year, but they do not prepare employees in advance. When the system is launched, the staff struggle to use it, creating confusion and delays. If training was planned yearly, the transitions would have been smooth. Okay, the finally challenge in training and development is weak integration between T&D performance management and strategy. The study found that training and development is typically disconnected from performance management systems and business strategy. Example, weak integrations between T&D performance management and strategy based on the general theme. In the study, research found that training and development activities were often run separately from boost performance appraisal system and the organization's strategic goal. Performance appraisal were not used to identify training needs, although employers were evaluated during performance review. The results were rarely analyzed to decide what specific training or development individuals or teams needs. This means that gaps identified during appraisal cycles didn't translate into target training plans. That's all from me. With that, I hand the floor back to the host. Please proceed.
Lastly, we asked Ms. Amalin for tips on how a company can carry out T&D in HR function effectively.
Thank you for inviting me. So now I'll talk about how a company can actually carry out training and development effectively, because having T&D is one thing, but doing it right is what really makes a difference. The company must first properly conduct a training and analysis, or being called as TNA. This helps HR in identifying the skill gaps at three levels, which are the task itself, the individuals, and the organizations. The company may wind up providing generic training that costs money and doesn't address any actual performance issues if it doesn't have a TNA. Yet, training becomes more strategic and effective when TNA is in line with employee requirements and corporate objectives. Next, the company needs to establish specific, measurable training objectives. It is too ambiguous to say something like, "we want to improve skills." Instead, companies should utilize SMART objectives so that the managers can assess whether the training truly enhances the performance, productivity, or quality, whether it aligns with the corporate KPIs. This will help trainers know what to concentrate on. Another crucial aspect is selecting appropriate learning methods. Companies should employ a blended approach because one method won't work for every job. This can include mentoring, microlearning, simulation, and on-the-job training. In order to make the training easier to implement in actual work settings, the approach should be matched with the employee's learning style and the necessary skills. Still, if the employees aren't prepared, even the best training won't be effective. Thus, the companies need to make sure that employees are ready and motivated. This includes assessing basic skills, outlining precise expectations, and providing management support. When the employees are prepared and motivated, they pick up new skills more quickly and will apply them in the workplace. Lastly, the most crucial part is training transfer. It goes beyond simply finishing the training program. The ability of the employees to use their skills in the workplace is what counts. Companies can help with this by providing the technical resources like SOPs and checklists, conducting coaching, establishing community of practice, and rewarding employees for using newly acquired skills. Training can significantly increase the performance and productivity with strong support. Therefore, effective T&D is a comprehensive process rather than merely sending employees to courses. It begins with identifying the appropriate needs, establishing clear goals, employing the right methods, training staff and assisting them in applying what they have learned into practice. And with that, that's all from me, thank you. Now, I'll hand the session back to the host.
So there you have it, a comprehensive look at training and development.
From identifying skill gaps to delivering various training programs and addressing real workplace challenges, T&D serve as the foundation of a strong and successful workforce.
So we hope this expert insight have made your learning experience better.
Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and let us know in the comments with what HR topic you want us to cover next.
And thanks for watching, and we see you in the next one.